He once told me he was just confused, and like an idiot, I believed him. Now he's standing at the altar, about to marry someone else, while I sit among the guests with my chest tight enough to crush me. The irony burns. The ache is sharp. And worst of all, a traitorous part of me still trembles at the sight of him. Like I've been waiting all this time for him to look back, to notice me, to say he didn't mean it. The wedding is beautiful in that picture-perfect, glossy magazine way. White chairs lined in neat rows, roses and baby's breath framing the arch where vows will be exchanged, and a summer sky too damn blue for the occasion. The whole scene screams joy and celebration. But me, I'm choking on bitterness, wondering how the hell I let myself get dragged into this mess. I shouldn't be here. Everyone knows it. His sister avoided eye contact when she handed me the invitation. His mother gave me that polite smile, the kind that says, "We remember, but we won't talk about it." And yet, I came anyway. Because despite everything, I still love him. His name is Matthew Pierce. My Matthew, or at least he was. We met in our junior year of high school in a small town where football was religion and anyone who didn't fit the mold got shoved into lockers or whispered about in hallways. He was the quarterback, the golden boy with a crooked grin and a laugh that made teachers forgive him before they even knew what he'd done wrong. And I was the quiet kid, the one who drew too much, read too much, felt too much. Nobody expected us to collide. Nobody expected him to sit next to me in art class and ask about the sketch I was hiding with my elbow. Nobody expected him to keep showing up, day after day, asking questions, teasing, and then, one night under the bleachers after a game, kissing me like it was the most natural thing in the world. I still remember the taste of Gatorade and adrenaline on his lips. We had months of stolen moments, car rides with windows down and music blasting. Late-night talks where he told me about his dreams, his fears, his father's expectations. And in those moments, he was mine. Entirely, unquestionably mine. Until he wasn't. When I asked him what we were, he laughed nervously and said, "I'm just confused." He swore he liked girls. He swore it was just a phase. Then he walked away, and weeks later, he showed up with a girlfriend. That was the story everyone saw. That was the version that made sense to them. And I, stupid, heartbroken, furious, I swallowed it. Years passed. I went to college, tried to move on, buried myself in my art, in temporary boys who never knew how to stay. But Matthew, he lingered like a scar that wouldn't heal. He stayed in my sketchbooks, in my half-written poems, in the hollow ache in my chest whenever I saw his name on social media. And now he's here, in front of me, smiling at a man he's about to marry. The groom, Ethan, is everything Matthew's family could want for him. Handsome, polished, successful. He has the kind of presence that fills a room, confident without being arrogant. Watching them together feels like staring at a life I'll never belong to. A life Matthew chose without me. Yet, as the music swells and the ceremony begins, Matthew's eyes flicker, just once, toward mine. And in that fleeting moment, the years collapse. I see the boy who once kissed me under the bleachers, the boy who whispered he wished things could be different. And I realize something terrifying. That look wasn't empty. It wasn't casual. It was a plea. The pastor speaks, the vows are exchanged, and applause erupts. I clap with everyone else, my hands numb, my heart breaking open all over again. By the time they kiss, my throat feels raw, like I've swallowed glass. I want to leave. God, I want to run. But when the reception starts, when the wine flows and the music gets louder, I find myself trapped in the crowd. Faces blur, laughter grates, and then he's there. Matthew in his suit, his tie slightly loose, slipping into the corner where I've been hiding like a ghost. "Why did you come?" he asks, voice low, careful. I want to scream at him, I want to tell him I came because he invited me, because I'm an idiot, because I still love him even though he ripped me apart. But all I say is, why did you want me here? His jaw tightens. His eyes dart to where Ethan is laughing across the room, oblivious. Then back to me. And there it is again, that look, that plea. I couldn't not see you, he whispers. My chest constricts, because those words don't belong at his wedding. They belong in another life, one where he chose me, one where he wasn't so damn afraid. And yet, here we are. That night, as the music drowns the air and sparklers light up the reception, Matthew and I stand in the shadows of the oak trees, away from the crowd. His hand brushes mine, tentative, electric, like the years between us never happened. Do you ever think about us? I ask, my voice cracking. Every day, he says. It's both everything I wanted to hear and the cruelest thing he could say. Because he's not mine. He never was. And now, maybe, he never will be. And that's where it begins again. Not the fairy tale I once dreamed of, but something raw, dangerous, and undeniable. Because for the first time since high school, Matthew isn't hiding. Not from me. Not from himself. And I don't know if that's enough. But God help me, I still want to find out. The reception hums with the kind of energy that belongs to everyone but me. Glasses clink, people laugh too loudly, and the band on stage plays something upbeat that doesn't match the heaviness dragging at my chest. I try to fade into the background, but fading doesn't work when the one person you don't want to see can find you anywhere. Matthew. He slips into the shadow of the oak tree with me again, his movements deliberate, practiced, like he's done this before, like sneaking off to find me is muscle memory. The way he looks at me is both familiar and foreign. Familiar because once upon a time he looked at me that way every day. Foreign because he shouldn't look at me like that anymore. Not here. Not now. Not after everything. You shouldn't be here, I murmur. His lips twitch in a humorless smile. Neither should you. I laugh, sharp and bitter, and the sound doesn't feel like mine. You invited me. I know, he says softer. I couldn't not. The words land heavy between us, weighted with years of silence and everything unsaid. My stomach twists because I understand what he means, and I hate myself for wanting to hear it. Why, Matt? I whisper, my voice low enough to drown in the music behind us. Why bring me here just to... I cut myself off because the rest of the sentence is poison, just to watch you choose someone else, just to prove how disposable I was. His gaze drops to the ground, his polished shoes scuffing the dirt. I needed to know if I could look at you and not feel it anymore. And my throat is dry. And I can't. The admission hits me like a slap and a caress all at once. My chest aches. My skin prickles. It's everything I've wanted to hear for years, but it's also crueler than silence. Then why the hell are you married to someone else? My voice cracks, louder than I intend, and he flinches like the words physically struck him. His hand comes up, almost like he wants to reach for me, but he stops short. Because it's easier, he admits. Because Ethan is safe. Because my family loves him. And the world expects me to have a life that looks like his. The anger that's been simmering inside me boils over. So I was what, Matt? Your dirty little secret? The boy you used to kiss when nobody was watching? I gave you everything I had, and you let me believe I wasn't enough. His eyes flash, wet with something raw. You were more than enough. You always were. I just wasn't brave enough. The words tear at me, ripping open every scar I thought I'd stitched shut. I want to scream at him, hit him, kiss him, anything to drown out the fire in my chest. Instead, I step back, shaking my head. You don't get to say that to me. Not today. Not here. Not after putting a ring on someone else's finger. Ethan doesn't know me the way you do, Matthew blurts, desperate now. He doesn't know what I'm afraid of, or what keeps me up at night. He doesn't know the way you. He stops, choking on his own words. Don't, I warn. Don't do this. Don't stand here on your wedding night and tell me you still love me. You made your choice, Matt. Live with it. But the problem is, he doesn't back down. He steps closer, and even though I want to move, I can't. His presence pins me in place, and I hate how much I crave it. You think I haven't lived with it? He whispers, voice breaking. Every day since I walked away from you, I've lived with it. I thought if I built the perfect life, if I played the part everyone wanted me to, I could bury it. But you're here and what? My words are sharp, but my heart is hammering so hard it hurts. And it's still you, he breathes. For a second, the world blurs. The laughter, the music, the clinking glasses. All of it fades. It's just him and me the same way it was under the bleachers, in his car, in every stolen moment we thought nobody would see. But reality comes crashing back. He has a husband now. People are inside raising glasses in his honor. And here he is, holding my heart in his hands again, like he never crushed it in the first place. I shove him back. Not hard, but enough. Go to your husband, Matt. Don't you dare make me the villain in your story again. His face crumples, and for once he doesn't chase me. I leave the reception early, slipping out before anyone notices. The night air is cooler than I expect, the stars sharp against the dark sky. I walk fast, like if I move quickly enough, maybe I can outrun the ache clawing at me. But the truth is, I can't. Not from him, not from us. The next morning, my phone buzzes with a text. It's his number, one I never deleted even though I should have. Meet me, please, just once, at the diner, noon. I stare at it for a long time, my thumb hovering. Every rational part of me screams to ignore it, to block him, to finally cut the cord. But the irrational part, the part that never stopped sketching his face in the margins of notebooks, wins. The diner hasn't changed in years. Greasy smell, red vinyl booths, the same waitress who always pretends not to hear small-town gossip. He's already there when I arrive, sitting in the corner booth, his suit traded for a plain t-shirt and jeans. He looks younger, like this, less polished, more real. When I slide into the seat across from him, neither of us speaks at first. The silence is thick, suffocating. Finally, he clears his throat. I didn't sleep last night, he admits. Congratulations, I say flatly. He flinches but doesn't fight back. I need to explain. No, I cut him off. You need to live with the choices you made. You don't owe me an explanation. You owe Ethan one. His hands clench on the table. I owe you both, but I can't keep lying. Not to him, not to myself, not to you. Matt, I love you, he says, the words spilling out like he's afraid if he doesn't say them now, he never will. My chest caves. I want to believe him. I want to let those words fill every crack he left in me. But love isn't enough. Not when it comes wrapped in so much pain. You're married, I remind him, each word heavy. His eyes shine, desperate. I know, and I hate myself for it. But if I don't tell you the truth now, I'll never forgive myself. You're the one, always have been. The sincerity in his voice is terrifying, because I know he means it, and I also know it changes nothing. I push back from the booth, standing before my knees give out. You don't get to do this to me, Matt. You don't get to marry someone else and then show up begging for me to save you from your own cowardice. He stands too, reaching for me, but I step out of his reach. You wanted safe? You chose safe. Now live with safe. My voice trembles, but I keep going. Because I'm done being your secret, your mistake, your regret. I deserve better. For a second, he looks like a boy again. The boy who once begged me not to leave his car at 2 in the morning. The boy who whispered he wished things could be different. But I can't save him from himself. So I walk out. And this time, he doesn't follow. That night, I sit on my apartment floor surrounded by sketches I never showed anyone. Pages of his face. Smiling, laughing, looking at me the way he did when nobody was watching. My pencil drags across paper, not to capture him this time, but to bury him, to finally let him go. Or at least to try. Yet somewhere in this same town, Matthew lies awake next to a man who thinks he knows him. And I wonder which of us will break first. The following days feel like walking through smoke. Everything looks the same on the outside. My small apartment with its cracked ceiling paint, the coffee shop where I sketch strangers for tips, the sidewalks that burn under late summer heat. But inside, nothing is steady anymore. My chest is an open wound, raw from being pulled back into his orbit only to shove myself out again. I tell myself I won't answer if he calls. I tell myself I'm done. But lies have always been easier to carry than the truth. On the third night, the knock comes. It's past midnight. The city is quiet. Even the usual honking and sirens seem muted. And when I open the door, there he is, Matthew Pierce, in the same t-shirt and jeans he wore at the diner, hair messy, eyes wide and restless. He looks nothing like the groom who stood at an altar days ago. I almost slam the door, but he puts his hand against it, not pushing, just holding, begging. "Please," he says, voice cracking, "just don't shut me out. Not yet." Every instinct screams at me to tell him to leave, to protect what's left of myself. But I step aside. Stupid, reckless, weak. I let him in. He paces my living room, running a hand through his hair. "I told Ethan," he blurts. My heart stumbles. Told him what? The truth. About you. About us. The air leaves the room. I sink into the couch, gripping the cushion like it might tether me. And he's gone. His voice breaks. He packed a bag and left. Said he can't be married to a man who's in love with someone else. Said he deserves better. A sharp laugh bursts from me, bitter as bile. He's right. He does. Matthew flinches. I know, but I couldn't keep lying to him. I couldn't keep pretending. You were right at the diner. I've been a coward. I've been running for so long, and all it's done is destroy everything. I glare at him, fury boiling under my skin. And now what? You want me to clap for you? To say, "Good job, Matt. You finally grew a spine? You broke him. You broke me. You broke yourself. Congratulations." His eyes shine, pained. I don't want applause. I just want a chance to make it right. With you. That word chance burns. I stand, my legs trembling. Do you have any idea what you've put me through? Years, Matt. Years of silence. You let me believe I wasn't enough. You made me watch you live a life without me. And now you show up on my doorstep like I'm some prize you can finally claim because you got tired of pretending? Tears spill down his cheeks, hot and fast. He doesn't wipe them away. You've always been enough. I was the one who wasn't. But I swear to God, I'm done running. I want to fight. For you. For us. Something inside me twists painfully. Because I want to believe him. God, I want to. But believing him means letting go of all the anger I've carried like armor. Believing him means risking another break I might not survive. The days that follow are chaos. Word spreads fast in our small town. Matthew Pierce, golden boy, football hero turned local businessman, walked out on his brand new husband. The whispers are sharp, cruel. Some pity Ethan. Some crucify Matthew. Some crucify me. At the grocery store, 2 women pause their carts to sneer in my direction. That's him. One hisses, not even trying to be discreet. The homewrecker. I grip my basket tighter, heat crawling up my neck. At the gas station, a man spits near my feet. Disgusting, he mutters. The shame is suffocating. I want to disappear. But when I see Matthew's truck parked outside my apartment building night after night, I know he's enduring worse. His father called him a disgrace. His mother won't return his calls. The life he built, polished, safe, perfect, crumbles like sand in his hands. And still, he keeps coming back. One evening, he catches me as I'm unlocking my door. His voice is raw, desperate. Please, just talk to me. 1 hour. If after that you never want to see me again, I'll disappear. I swear. Something in me breaks. Against all logic, against every jagged warning in my chest. I nod. We end up at the lake, the same one we used to sneak to in high school. The air smells of pine and damp earth. Fireflies hover over the water like sparks. Feels like stepping back in time. We sit on the hood of his truck, the silence heavy but not unbearable. Finally, he speaks. I thought I could live without this, he admits, staring at the water. Without you, I thought I could bury it deep enough that it would die. But it didn't. It grew. Every time I laughed with Ethan, part of me wished it was you. Every time I looked at him, I saw the shadow of what I didn't have. I swallow hard, fighting tears. You don't get to use me as a comparison. You don't get to put me on some pedestal while you destroy people in the process. He nods, shame written all over his face. You're right. I was selfish. I hurt you. I hurt Ethan. I hurt myself. I don't deserve forgiveness. Then why are you here? I whisper. His gaze finally turns to me, eyes fierce through the wetness. Because I'd rather spend the rest of my life trying to earn you back than spend one more day pretending I don't love you. The words hang in the night air, echoing louder than the crickets, louder than the water lapping at the shore. And for the first time in years, I let myself believe him. I let myself remember the boy who kissed me under the bleachers, the boy who laughed with me until our stomachs hurt, the boy who whispered that he wished things could be different. Maybe things can be different now. But different comes with a price. The town doesn't forgive easily. Ethan's friends glare when they see me. Old classmates mutter behind my back. Even my boss at the art store hints I should keep a low profile for a while. And Matthew? He loses clients at his firm. His father tells him not to bother coming home for Thanksgiving. The shine of his perfect reputation dulls under the weight of his truth. One night, as we sit in my kitchen over takeout boxes, I ask, was it worth it? Losing all of this? Your family, your job, half the damn town. He looks at me, weary but steady. If it means I don't lose you again, yeah, it's worth it. The simplicity of his answer shatters me. But love doesn't erase fear. Weeks pass and the tension builds. I see the way he clenches his jaw when people whisper. I feel the pressure of their judgment pressing on me too. And I wonder if we're strong enough to outlast the storm. One night, I wake to find him sitting on the floor, back against the wall, head in his hands. His shoulders shake. Matt, I kneel beside him. His voice is broken. What if I ruin you too? What if being with me destroys everything you have left? I cup his face, forcing him to look at me. You can't ruin me. The only thing that ruins me is losing you all over again. He stares at me like I'm salvation, like he's been drowning for years and I'm the air. And in that moment, I know we've already chosen. We'll take the storm, together. The storm doesn't come all at once. It creeps in, slow and relentless, like rain seeping through cracks in the roof until you wake up soaked. It comes in the form of phone calls Matthew ignores, messages from his mother he can't bring himself to answer, whispers at the grocery store that grow louder every time we walk in together. It comes when Ethan's cousin corners me outside the art store, spitting the word homewrecker like it's my name. It comes when my landlord slips a notice under my door, suggesting it might be less complicated for everyone if I found another place to live. And through it all, Matthew holds my hand in public, like defiance is the only weapon he has left. One night, we're invited to his sister's house. It's a trap. I know it before we even pull into the driveway. The lights glow too warmly, the air too quiet. His father is there, arms crossed, mouth set in a grim line. His mother sits stiff on the couch, eyes rimmed red. The tension is a wall I can't climb. Matthew, his father begins, voice sharp. Do you have any idea what you've done? To Ethan? To this family? To yourself? Matthew straightens beside me, his hand tightening on mine. I know exactly what I've done. For the first time in my life, I've been honest. His mother's voice cracks. With him. She looks at me, pain and accusation tangled together. This is who you throw your life away for? Heat burns my cheeks. I open my mouth to speak, to defend myself, but Matthew beats me to it. Yes, he says clear and strong. With him. Because he's the only person I've ever truly loved. The words hang heavy in the room. His father's face hardens. His mother turns away, silent tears slipping down her cheeks. His sister watches us with something softer, something almost like pity. I can't change your mind, can I? His father asks, voice cold. No, Matthew says simply. The silence that follows feels like a door slamming shut. Back in the car, I can't breathe. The guilt is a weight pressing into my ribs. You shouldn't have said that, I whisper. Why not? It's the truth. They'll never forgive you. He looks at me, eyes steady, unflinching. Then they don't deserve me. But you do. And I break. Right there, in the passenger seat, I cry like I haven't cried in years. Because for the first time, I believe him. He's not confused anymore. He's not hiding. He chose me. The weeks stretch into months. Slowly, the noise quiets. People get bored of gossip, find fresher scandals. My landlord backs off when Matthew helps me find a new apartment across town. My art begins to sell again. Sketches turning into commissions, commissions turning into murals. And Matthew? He rebuilds. Not the same way as before, not with polish and perfect smiles, but with grit, with long nights, with a determination I've never seen in him. His father may not speak to him, but his sister does. His mother sends a birthday card, unsigned but with a $20 bill tucked inside. It's not forgiveness, but it's not silence either. We carve a life from the wreckage. One evening, nearly a year after that wedding, we drive back to the lake. The water shimmers under moonlight, the air thick with summer heat. Matthew leans against the truck, watching me as I sketch the scene. The trees, the fireflies, the ripples on the water. You know, he says, I used to picture us like this when I was with him, sitting out here, watching you draw, wishing I had the courage to make it real. I look up, my chest tightening. And now, he steps closer, his hand brushing mine. Now I don't have to picture it. I get to live it. The kiss he gives me is soft, steady. The kind that doesn't burn but warms, slow and sure, like sunlight after a storm. Later, lying in the truck bed under the stars, he whispers, I don't deserve a second chance, but I'm going to spend the rest of my life proving I was worth yours. I turn to him, my throat thick, my heart aching in the best way. You don't have to prove it, Matt. You just have to stay. And he does. He stays when the town glares, when the phone calls go unanswered, when the nights get heavy and I question if love is enough. He stays when my hands shake too much to draw, when his work slows, when the world feels too sharp. He stays because for once he's not confused anymore. He's certain. A year to the day of his wedding, that wedding, I wake to the smell of coffee and the sound of his uneven humming in the kitchen. He walks in with 2 mugs, his hair a mess, his smile easy. "Happy anniversary," he teases. I groan. "Wrong one." "No," he says, setting the mugs down and pulling me close. "The only one that matters. The day I stopped lying. The day I chose you." I roll my eyes, but my heart soars. Because in the end, that's what love is. Not perfection, not safety, not silence. It's choosing. And this time, he chose me. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.